You want to see something really scary?
You bet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, this is really, really scary now.
I trust you.
Hello, Internet fans. It's your old pal Rottin Roger DeMarco here from RepulsiveReviews.com. This video, we're going to be talking about Manny Cotto's 1992 film, Dr. Giggles. Okay, so here is the plot rundown. Dr. Giggles escapes from a mental hospital and goes to his hometown of Moore High to practice a little medicine. That's pretty much it. Not super complex, fun, little, wild, early 90s slasher flick, trying to capitalize on the 80s slasher craze, trying to bring it back. When he comes back, he targets Jennifer, who has a heart condition, and her core group of friends. Dr. Giggles' father was the town doctor who was insane and was trying to perfect heart transplants before heart transplants became common practice. The townsfolk were tired of the doctor doing crazy experiments, so they dragged him out and killed him. Seems a little bit like a Freddy Krueger-esque thing, and the town doctor even has a nursery rhyme that they sing about him. So it's very referential to the Nightmare franchise. Definitely trying to build a franchise villain. This is a Dark Horse movie, and they even did a run of comic books trying to make this into a franchise. Sadly, this is the only Dr. Giggles movie. He runs around killing people with crazy constructed weapons, crazy constructed doctor tools, which he has no time to invent from the time he escapes until the time he starts killing. He also has amazing one-liners every time he kills someone, which is not an easy task. You gotta be witty, and he nails it. Larry Drake owns the role of Dr. Giggles. But before I get into my overall thoughts of this film, first, let's take a look at Rottin Roger's Splatter Facts. We have 17 dead bodies, by my count. Maybe I missed some in there, so if you see more than 17, let me know in the comments, because I only got 17. We have 2 titties. If, and this is a big if, you count morgue rack titties, because it's not a real person. It is quite clearly a prosthetic dummy. 2 titties, if you count them. They're there. The methods of death include, but are not limited to, injected, stabbed in the brain, castration, stomach pumped, suffocation, and blood pressured. Some really inventive, fun stuff in this movie. Things that if you don't take the time to question are amazing. Like I mentioned earlier, he has these incredible weapons, which you can chalk it up to them being his father's, I suppose, because his father was a crazy doctor. But I'm just not buying it. I'm not buying that his father had a 4-foot band-aid. His father was known for the heart surgeries. There's some crazy stuff. The big band-aid, the stomach pump with the little grinder in it, the thermometer that he uses on the girl, whatever that fucking thing is, the oversized nose looker upper. This movie is so much fun. It got a 27% on Rotten Tomatoes. Well, Rottin Roger says that Rotten Tomatoes doesn't know what the fuck they're talking about, because this movie is so goddamn insane, you can't watch it and not smile. You are going to smile. You are going to laugh. You're not going to watch this to be scared. This is popcorn, candy, a whole tub of Breyer's ice cream, if you want to be like Michelle Johnson. Just have a good time with this. Don't overthink it. He's a doctor who says one-liners and kills everybody. What more do you want? There are some very interesting relationships in this movie, with Jen, whose mother had passed away from a routine operation, which is why she has such a fear of having the surgery for her heart issues. Her father starts dating a young woman played by Michelle Johnson, and so there's this wonderful sense of resentment between the daughter and the new love interest. Just that dynamic that breaks up the happy home. This is by no means like Oscar-winning dialogue, but It does flesh out the characters nicely. It gives you a little bit of something to hold on to, so you aren't just expecting her to die like you expect all of her friends. Some pretty weird stuff about this movie that bothers me, like the police. Again, here we go with the inept police force in all these small towns. There is a police officer who was on the force back when Doc Randell killed everybody and when his son went missing. So they know of this town legend and they know of this house. A neighborhood call saying someone's in that house fucking around, we heard them. So the cops go, they take like 3 steps into this mansion, and then they go, I don't know. But the rookie cop finds a piece of cloth on the staircase, which is clearly a piece of uniform from a mental institution. And hey, look at this. Let's get the fuck out of here. The whole movie could be prevented if they just went upstairs and took a fucking look around. But that's what makes these movies so much fun, is these terrible cops enabling a 300-pound giggling doctor to run amok in a town and kill people using medicinal weaponry. But it's fucking rad. There is a relationship between the lead character, Jennifer, and her boyfriend, Max. Some of the dialogue, the expositional dialogue, is a little, how should I say, clunky. The conversations they have to bring up the fact that she has a heart condition and that he is kind of not going to wait around for her, that he's the standard horror movie boyfriend. You don't want to drink beer and make out with me? I'll go find the easy girl. You know, similar to like a Halloween 4, but a lot more silly, a lot more tongue-in-cheek. This production knew what it was doing. It wasn't setting out to make a genuinely terrifying film. This is borderline satire, which is why I think I gravitate towards it so much. It respects the subject matter, but it also says, these things are pretty fucking silly, and kind of shoves them at you. Bad cops, shitty boyfriends, one-liner kills, custom weapons, a bunch of stuff that we grew up with in the 80s and we kind of got away from for a while in the 90s. And this movie says, fuck that, it's amazing, here it is in all of its awesome glory. And that's another thing, which I understand, doctors make a ton of money. But the older I get, when I watch this movie, I am completely blown away by the basement in this house. It has a full-fledged doctor's office in it. It has a waiting room. It has fucking 30-foot hallway with 6 doctor rooms. And then at the end of the hallway, where the basement is the most shitty, is the operation room. It's like raining in this room, and he's got all his sterile equipment, and he's gonna do a heart operation in there. Couldn't do it 20 feet to the right, where the rooms are finished? Yeah, we got all these sterile rooms, but let's have your heart surgery next to the water heater. Great idea. You don't plan for heart surgeries or the shit. I really like this movie. It gets a lot of hate. It gets a lot of people shitting on it. And, like I usually say, I think that this is an important movie. We have transitioned from the 80s and we start edging into the 90s, where things are supposed to be more edgy and badass and dark, and we had some really like Lovecraftian horror films around that time. There are a few other things that I think are slightly silly about this movie. I can't think of the friend's name, but he steals his mother's lingerie so his girlfriend can wear it so that they can have sex. Your mother has had sex in those garments. Your mother has done filthy things to your father whilst wearing them. You want to take them and put your girlfriend in them. What if it had her fabric softener on it? Or what if it smelled like her perfume and you get in this bed with this girl and it smells like your mom? Okay, I'm just saying, these are poor life choices. This guy has some issues. He made some mistakes and he pays for them dearly. Kind of weird. Kind of Freudian. So, in my personal opinion, I have to say that I really enjoy this movie. It's on regular rotation in this house. I frequently visit it. It's a silly, wild movie that gets my attention. And I do believe that it is important to the genre because it gives us that personality. Sometimes we want a killer who is going to make light of the situation, who is going to try to break that fourth wall. Not too much. Don't break it too much. But just throw a little bit of levity in there. So you're watching these violent murders, but you're kicked back, and you got a smile on your face. This is fun filmmaking. Deserves to be seen. Deserves to be in a collection. Deserves to be respected. It would be amazing if we got a Blu-ray release of this. Scream Factory, I'm looking at you. So in my personal opinion, I'm going to give this movie 3 out of 5 blood drops because it doesn't have the titties that I want, okay, first and foremost. So you get a demerit because you're missing some tits. This movie is too damn fun to pass up. You know that if you were roaming the video store aisles in 1992 and you saw that cover, you're picking it up, you're reading the back, and you're taking it home. Well, why can't you treat today like it's 1992? Pick that movie up and watch it. Well, you should probably get going. Because after all, there's a lot of movies out there. Somebody's got to watch them. So why not me? Right?